Welcome back to the Jenks and Lammer podcast. Sorry about the delay. It's supposed to be every Monday, but Jenks was moving. I was coming back from down the shore.
Florida, baby.
Yeah, big Florida guy now.
Yeah, I'll be back after the summer. I'll be like orange on the podcast, so look forward to that.
All right, burn all red. But today we got a quick episode. Just got some topics for you guys. Tom Brady, is he gonna be the Raiders QB in 2023? Maybe. DHop on the move. He's officially a free agent. What teams are he gonna head to? Some Aaron Rodgers news broke this morning. Had some comments for the GM. We'll get into that. And then, of course, the kickoff rule change. That's really going to change this game, change special teams, and talk about it.
Lame. No fun league.
Stupid.
Welcome to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Bringing you the latest NFL news and insights from the perspectives of two die-hard fans. Join your hosts, Grayson Jenkins and John Hammerly, as they dive deep into the world of football, along with a special focus on the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some football talk with Jenks and the Hammer.
And here we go.
All right, guys, getting right into it with a big segment today. Just a lot of recent news. Not a lot of huge news NFL offseason. We're going to be scrounging for news a little bit throughout this offseason here. But one big piece of news was the Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo talk with the Raiders. So for those who don't know, the Raiders signed Jimmy G, and he had an injury clause in his contract that if he's injured for the start of the season, they can cut him. They'll have no financial, it won't hurt them financially at all. They can just cut him outright or move on from him, whatever they want to do. So that's big news. And then there's also news that Tom Brady is trying to receive a minority stake of ownership for the Raiders. And with that, if he's approved, he might be able to become the first NFL owner player since Jerry Richardson, I believe, who was the owner for the Panthers, which is big news. So Tom Brady could come out of retirement, play for the Raiders while also owning the team, which is huge news.
Yeah, so this is all rumors. I mean, he owns a part of the team. Like Grayson said, stuff has to get passed for him to be able to play and be an owner too. Maybe he sells his shares or whatever, and then I don't know. But I don't know. I'm assuming that this isn't going to get passed because I'm pretty sure it has to go through all the owners. They all have to agree that this is allowed and everything. I don't know if anyone would really allow that, but I mean, it's crazy to think about. I don't know. I mean, could happen. I mean, Brady go play with Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I think it would set the NFL world on fire again. It did
nuts.
Last year, even when he went in retirement for a week or two, came back out. Oh, I'm going to play again. Everyone went nuts. So same exact thing. If he does it again this year, then it would be nuts.
What's your prediction?
I mean, I don't think it's. So here's the thing with Tom Brady. The reason he retired this again, at least, was because he wants to spend time with his family. He wanted to actually kind of be done with the NFL, be a dad. And I just don't see him leaving his family again, his kids, just to come back to the league, play with the Raiders, who have a not dysfunctional team, but it's not like the Raiders aren't anything completely set. There's a lot moving around. The offense is good. They have weapons, but
Josh McDaniels, his offensive coordinator, head coach.
Old coach.
I mean, it's just a lot of it makes sense. It's hey, good weapons, head coach. There's familiar. You're familiar there. But it's just what's the point? What you mean? What are you gonna do in the Raiders? What are you gonna do in that division?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do in the AFC? You're really gonna come out of retirement again? Yeah, no, you're not gonna do anything.
Yeah, so it would just be kind of putting your body in harm's way, just to kind of
stupid
go and play a few more games. So I mean, it could happen, but I just don't see it being likely.
I don't think so either. All right, the next news topic we got: DeAndre Hopkins is officially a free agent. This has kind of been in the, it's been trending this way that this was going to happen, that he was going to be released and be a free agent. Didn't look like anyone was going to trade for him, just because
it's a really big financial cap hit too, and you're giving up weapons or whatever. Yeah.
So the two teams that pop up, of course, are the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. I think those were his two landing spots. That's where he wanted to go. Now he's a free agent. Now he gets to pick between the two. He said, I think he said on a podcast that those are the two teams. So if I had to pick one, I think Kansas City is the better fit for DeAndre Hopkins,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
I mean, Kansas City doesn't really have that receiver one. I mean, I know they have Kelsey, but I don't know. DHop to be that receiver one, Tony on the slot, Kadarius Tony in the slot, Kelsey at tight end. That would be nasty. But it just depends what kind of role Hopkins wants, right? Because he could go to Buffalo and he could be the number two. Stephon, him, Gabe Davis, the rookie tight end they got in the first round, Dalton Kincaid. Either
Yeah.
way, it's gonna be two high power offenses.
Yeah, and I think the key with the Bills is that he would be the number 2, like you said, and that gives him a little bit less of a defensive strategy to him. Like he's not going to be covered by the number 1 corner every single game because Stephon Diggs or just mainly Stephon Diggs. But there's also going to have to spread out because there's going to be more weapons on the Bills than there are on the Chiefs this year, at least. And well, I mean, we say that every year, but the Chiefs, like even if they're unnamed receivers, they always have a big year because Patrick Mahomes can do whatever the hell he wants with the ball. But the Bills have that, and then like you said, just the Bills or the Chiefs being the team with Travis Kelsey, Patrick Mahomes. They just have, and Andy Reid is their head coach. Even they just have a team that any receiver wants to play for because he's going to get the ball, he's going to score, he's going to get yards. Like you put any receiver in there, he's going to do well. So I think that's intriguing. Mainly DHop wanted, like the main things he wanted were strong ownership, strong management, and then a good quarterback.
I mean, let's look at his two past, teams, organizations.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Texans and the Cardinals.
Yeah, train wreck.
We're talking the bottom of the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. Wants something actually strong.
Buffalo, Kansas City, definitely two strong organizations. QB play, head coach, offense, defense. Can't go wrong. It's just, what's more attractive to you and your family, to live where to live, and where do you think you have a better chance to go win a Super Bowl at?
Yeah, and I think there's like a few dark horses. I know the Browns were one team mentioned.
Don't say the Saints. Don't say the Saints.
Okay. I won't say the Saints. Everyone knows on the podcast, all the viewers and listeners, they know I'm thinking the Saints. Because I am, let's be honest.
This doesn't make any sense.
But the Browns were legitimate, like talked about, like Deshaun Watson. DHop said he would play with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson said he would play with DeAndre Hopkins again. They're familiar. Like that's definitely a link there. So that's possible.
Baltimore, you can't rule out Baltimore.
Baltimore is an option as well. Across from OBJ. I don't know if money wise. I don't know if they have money. I just don't know off the top of my head. But that is also an option. Because they also have a strong defense too. So Baltimore, like strong coach, strong quarterback, everything.
I know the Jets are out. I don't think the Jets are interested. I don't think they have the money.
Yeah, money, and they already have so many weapons that it's like
they got Lazard, they got Hardman, they got Cobb.
Yeah, you start.
I don't think so.
Garrett Wilson. You start like adding more and more weapons to it. It's just like
they still have Corey Davis
fighting over the ball.
Still have Corey Davis.
It's just a strong team where they don't really need him. It's not worth throwing all that money to him. So
yeah,
but like you said, I think Bills or Chiefs, number 2, like
Bills,
top
Chiefs.
2 teams, easy.
I don't know. To me, I think Kansas City. But if I had to, I don't know. I got a feeling. I mean, I would go Kansas City, but I got a feeling it's going to go Buffalo.
I think Buffalo would be sick. I just think
either one's going to be sick.
Yeah, no, I think he might have the chance of getting the ball more on the Chiefs, but I think if he goes to the Bills, I think that's instantly higher success rate or percentage for the Bills. I think the Bills ceiling is that much higher if they get a guy like DHop. And the reasoning is because aside from Diggs, Gabe Davis, the Bills rookie last year, and a couple other guys, they're not consistent receivers. They can drop the ball. They could have great catches once and then drop the ball next game. Gabe Davis had a few games. I think we had 2 touchdowns, and then next game he had
pops off and then has 3 catches. Yeah,
2 or 3 fantasy points. So it's if you get a guy like DHop, that instantly boosts their stock that much.
Absolutely. All right, the next topic. Aaron Rodgers. I don't know when this came out. I don't even know if it's true. The comment that popped up, the quote, it just doesn't really look. It doesn't look and feel like something Aaron would say.
Mm-hmm.
But this came out either last night or this morning, but it was Aaron Rodgers on Packers GM Brian Gutenkunst. This is the quote. "Come on, man. Just tell the truth. You wanted to move on. You didn't like the fact that we didn't communicate at um, all the time. Listen, I talk to people that I like." So Brian Gutenkunst, he doesn't like the fact that the communication between him and Aaron just wasn't there. And then Aaron's like, "Well, yeah, I only talk to people that I like."
Yeah, and then there was
Just-
also the
But I don't think Aaron would put like Brian Gutenkunst kind of said that he was kind of ghosted.
yeah. I mean,
I
that
don't know. I
quote
don't think Aaron would put that quote out because I don't think he's unless New York really got into his head. I don't think he would say his thing back like, "I only talk to people that I like." That doesn't
Yeah.
make any that's just not Aaron. I mean, I know people kind of see him as a diva, but from
the
someone
last
that's
few years. Yeah.
but for someone that's watched him, I don't think I don't think that's something he would say because
No,
these past 2 years, since that one draft night in 2021, I believe the whole news came out. It was a year after Jordan Love, where Aaron wanted to move on. He thought they wanted to move on. Yada yada yada. But since then the relationship has been getting better, and they've been building. But I don't know, for him to put a comment like this out, I don't know.
and
I don't
and
know.
another
But you know what? At the same time, it came out from a reliable Packers source. So I don't know what to believe. It's tough to think about Aaron really saying something like that.
yeah, and then the other rumor that I saw going around Twitter right now is that Aaron Rodgers asked for Gutenkunst to be
Yeah.
fired,
hmm
which is that's also complete rumor. It's not anything confirmed. But
Mhm.
that's another huge thing. That just seems weird for Aaron Rodgers to have gone and done and just
I don't know.
if he's not fired, I'm going. I mean,
Trade
I could
me.
see it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
could see it.
his
because-
agent called Mark Murphy, right, the Packers owner, and he was like, "So either get rid of him or trade me." And Mark Murphy was like, "I'm not gonna do it either." You know what I mean? And Aaron came
Yeah.
back for 2 more years after that. I don't know. I don't know.
It just seems kind of not 100%. It just seems iffy. But that
Here's
being
my thing
said,
too. Here's my thing too, though. If I'm Aaron understands the business. He understands drafting Jordan Love because he was in the same position. We're looking, even though I didn't, I know a lot of Packer fans didn't agree with it at the time. We're 1 game away from the Super Bowl. Why we're drafting a QB? Aaron played good. Motivated him and he won MVPs and everything. But but we don't know. Maybe it ends up being really good and Jordan Love is the next Aaron. We don't know. We have no clue. Or he can shit the bed. We don't know. But I think Aaron knows his business inside and out. And I just how I don't know why you could be that mad at Brian Gutenkunst. I think Brian has put really good teams around Aaron.
yeah, but drafting
People
a
say-
quarterback like he did
I get
was
that. I
really
get that. But Aaron's gonna
really iffy.
understand the business. He's gonna understand the business. You know what I mean? We're trying to be good for a long time. Same thing they did with him. But besides that, Brian Gutenkunst has been good to Aaron. He's put really good teams around him. I know he's focused more on the defense than what people like, but he still brought in weapons for you. He brought in Jimmy Graham. Didn't really work out, but he tried that. He brought back Randall Cobb when Aaron asked him to bring him back. Brought him back. I mean, I know he didn't draft a receiver in the first round, but he drafted receivers in the second or third. That kind of turned out to be good. I know it's early, but Christian Watson in the second round, that's a good pick. He's going to be a good player, right? So I don't know. It just doesn't sound like something Aaron would say.
Yeah, it's really just kind of speculation. There's no one's really ever gonna know. Moving into the last segment of the day. This one's big. It's a big change for the NFL. It really is. It doesn't seem like much. It's gonna be 5 yard difference in the fair catch rule for kickoffs, which is 5 yards. It's not that big of a deal. But going out to 25, and you just because of a fair catch, a lot more players are gonna do that just because they're getting that all that extra yardage just because it's not like they have to earn it with any they're not gonna have to run, they don't have to get the tackle, they don't have to get hit. They don't have to waste all these waste their health, as a returner. Like they're kind of fighting for that extra yardage every single snap. And now coach is going to be like, "Oh, you're just going to get to 25, just fair catch." Like that's what they're going to say because
the kicker could, kick off, put it right on the 5, could put it right on the 10.
Yeah.
And he could just fair catch the ball, and it's the same thing as getting a touchback. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's
I mean, what's the point of even having kickoff anymore? You know what I mean? Like there's no point.
Dan Campbell of the Lions came out and said like this, it's basically going to turn into flag football eventually. Like there's no point of having kickoff if you're just going to have them fair catch the ball every single time, because that's what players are going to do. If you kick the ball short to the 5, you try to coffin corner it like we've seen over the last few years, it's a fair catch. Like unless you have a great returner. Like, I mean, the Packers have good returners, Saints have good returners. It's unless you're a guy, like unless your team with a surefire returner that, he's going to get to 25 or he's going to make a big play happen, they're fair catching that every time. There's no reason not to. And I just want to say, like, this rule is less appealing to me than like the NFL going, hey, let's just do what the XFL did. Have them kick it. I think everyone lines up 10 yards across from each other. It'll be safer, like I think that's what their goal is, the safety or whatever. It's stupid. It really is. It's a stupid rule. There's not really any meaning for it. There's no impact. I just don't get the point. But if they wanted to do that, just do it that way. Do the XFL kickoff. There's a low chance of a kickoff return happening, but it still happened. And it'd be interesting for teams to scheme up. It's more interesting than barely seeing a kickoff returned from an NFL fan standpoint.
Yeah, kickoffs are such a big part, of the game. It sets the tone. It sets the feel of the game, and it's big momentum changers, big momentum changers. If you return, a big kick, if you turn a kickoff or if you get pinned deep, it's big. It's big time. It affects the game big. And I know they already, a couple years back, they changed their rule to decrease like the run up, right? Because now they're on the same line as the kicker, right? Instead of like 10, 5 yards to lead up, or the same line as the ball. But at this point, it's just like it's football, right? It's supposed to be a violent game. So like, I mean, I understand we're trying to prevent injury and everything, but like, this is what you sign up to play. Like, this is football.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. At some point, like this is the game. It's just a violent sport. This is what you sign up to play. You know what I mean? Like injuries happen. They do. Like,
and I just don't get it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get maybe them doing the XFL thing. Like, that's the only way they're going to keep like a NFL product on the field. Because otherwise, like we said, they're just going to end up being fair catches. It's going to be boring for everyone to watch, and they're going to get rid of it in a year or two. Like, it's what the owners and coaches are going to say. Like, if we're not returning kicks, why have it?
The only point will be to have like all the special teamers just stride
down
out
the field. Yeah.
Just stride out.
Striders.
They don't get tight on the sideline. That's it. I know.
Yeah.
So.
And I just don't get it. So
stupid.
That's no fun league. Gets me a big thumbs down from me.
Yeah, same here. I know Keyshawn Nixon from the Packers. He talked about it. He's like, I'm not fair catching anything.
Yeah, just return. If you're a good returner, go return the ball.
Everything. Yep.
I don't think
like Keyshawn Nixon just got paid $5-6 million this offseason because of that.
Job.
Because
his
of what
job
he does.
Is to return. So these returners are like.
So now what? And next year, he only signed a 1-year deal. So next year, when this is the rules change and now it's just fair catching, he's not going to make as much money as he would. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, like you said, like this would just be striders for the special teamers, but this is such a huge job for all these players. They're like the lower guys on the roster. Like
this is how they have a job. This is how they make a living. You know what I mean? To run down, make a tackle, to block, to return. Like, you know what I mean? You just get rid of that part. You know?
It's unfair for those guys, and I think it's dumb. It's not.
I mean, I know it's like we're protecting, the players and their safety, but it's like, go ask all the players. Like, you know what I mean? Go take a vote around the league. See what they say. See what the special teams coaches say. You know what I mean? Like, this is like their job, and you're taking that away from them. I mean, I know it's protecting them, but then you're gonna kick them out of the league. You know what I mean? Like,
they're not gonna have a job anymore. So at some point, you're taking it too far. You really are.
Yep. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for another episode of the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Quick shout out to the Miami Heat, my basketball team, killing it, making history, second 8th seed all time to make the finals. Crazy run. Big bounce back against Boston after dropping 3 games in a row to go in there, game 7, blow them out. And it's going to be a good finals. I got the Heat winning in 6, game 1 tomorrow night. Can't wait. Any
Quick
comments on
question.
the Heat?
Yeah,
What?
just a quick question though. Who's a more impactful player for the Heat, LeBron or Jimmy Buckets?
Jimmy Buckets.
That's
I'm a Jimmy guy.
That's confidence. I mean, because
Jimmy
LeBron
Buckets.
went down there and all right. I think
LeBron had I know LeBron won MVP. He actually won a finals. Jimmy has yet to do that. But he had Wade, he had Bosh, he had Ray Allen. And I'm not saying that Jimmy's teammates ain't good, but like Jimmy's doing something different.
yeah, and they are the 8th seed too. I think people forget about that this
Jimmy,
year, especially.
think about this, though.
The 8th seed.
Jimmy-
They weren't even supposed to be there.
Jimmy, 4 years with the team, 4 years, 3 Eastern Conference appearances, 2 finals appearances.
Yeah.
The 1 year they didn't make it was the shortest NBA season coming off the bubble,
Yeah, the bubble.
which they made the finals and then had to play the season. So that's the 1 year they didn't make it. But yeah, and they were a couple inches, 1 shot away last year from making the finals. So it's really like 4 years, maybe 3 finals appearances. So yeah.
Who knows? I'll see if
22
I
is the
can.
GOAT. 22 is the GOAT.
I'll see if I can go down because I'm in Fort Lauderdale, so I'm gonna see if I can go to the watch party or something. I'll try to take some videos,
You
post
should
them to our socials. So I'll
do
I'll let you guys know.
what you call it? The parade.
Oh yeah, I'd go to the
Yeah.
parade. Yeah, if they went, and we also the
awesome.
Florida Panthers, the hockey team, are
Yeah,
in the Stanley
same
Cup final
thing.
too. So
8th seed too.
yeah, so I'll go to the parade for you guys and get some videos if they win.
It's like, all right. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Jenks Hammer Pod. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you watch on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a good week. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Thank you for tuning in to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Remember to leave a review and follow all of our social media pages at Jenks Hammer Pod for more content. Until next time, who dat and go Pack Go!